to the other big story and debate that we have here for you tonight. Because sometimes I really don't know when I hear certain comments being made by ministers, sitting ministers, sometimes even chief ministers, the kind of comments that they make, remarks that they make on women and their choices. I don't know whether I want to laugh or outrage. I don't know if it makes me angry or if it makes me sad. This constant need that our politicians have to preach, constant need that our politicians have to speak about moral values, to speak about life choices, rather than actually speaking about their work, rather than actually speaking about governance, rather than actually speaking about law and order. I don't know why. Ministers can try and justify their comments, defend their comments, bring in research, quote us statistics, tell us if we were quoted out of context, that they weren't trying to say this or that. Here is my very simple advice to all of them. Don't get into it. Why is it that we never hear you, male or female minister, why is it that we never hear you talk about the men of this country, their moral fabric, their life choices, their careers, their clothes, what they like to do, when they like to roam around? Why is it always the woman whose choices you feel entitled to comment on? Because you are not. On Sunday, while addressing a gathering on the occasion of World Mental Health Day, Dr. Sudhakar of Karnataka BJP, a minister there, made a shocking comment. Here is what he said. Listen.
And today, sorry to say this, a lot of modern women in India, they want to stay single. Even if they get married, they don't want to give a birth. They want surrogacy. So there is a paradigm shift in our thinking, which is not good.
It's not good. Men choosing to stay single, I'm assuming nobody bothered to look into that. Men choosing to have no kids or 10 kids, I'm assuming nobody bothered to look into that. But the entire burden of running a functional society that follows the norms that you think are right is on the woman. I believe this is a completely regressive comment that shames any woman's choices today, questions their personal choices, and shows just how worked up certain people are in our society. That women are actually managing to do so much today. Not only do they go out to make such comments, they actually believe so, and I know this because often we actually see ministers come back and justify their comment. Not clarify, not take it back, not apologize, not even understand what is it that we are trying to tell them when we say, don't preach, don't question our values, don't question our choices, don't make it about women, focus on your work, focus on your governance, focus on law and order. They don't get it. Here is the justification which was offered here.
उनका स्टेटमेंट में क्या उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट किया, हर महिला ऐसा नहीं है. कुछ पढ़े लिखे और जॉब करने वाला, पर्टिकुलरली आईटी-बीटी में काम करने वाला, उनका मनस्थिति ज़्यादा बढ़ गया है, ऐसा बढ़ गया है. हर महिला ऐसा है क्या? ऐसा नहीं है हर महिला. ये सोचने का बात है, हम सोचना पड़ा. वेस्टर्न इन्फ्लुएंस ज़्यादा होने के कारण और माइक्रो फैमिली के कारण ऐसा हो रहा है. थोड़ा गंभीर आता के सोचना के जरूरत है। पूरा हर महिला ऐसा है ऐसा नहीं है। हर महिला आज भी फैमिली के बारे में आस्था ज़्यादा है हमारा देश में। हमारा देश अमेरिका के जैसे इंग्लैंड के जैसे नहीं है। सोचने का जरूरत है।
19% millennials are not interested in children or marriage. This is the statistic that the minister used to also justify his comment. He said 23% Gen Z adults are not interested in children or marriage. This is the paradigm shift which is problematic. These choices trends are applicable to both boys and girls. That was the clarification part that came. These are the statistics that he wanted to quote. He could have just quoted these statistics and moved on without giving a judgment value on it. Few weeks ago, it was another chief minister from another state who commented about youngsters, young girls roaming around in the night time, their parents not saying anything to them. The problem is, and I'll tell you why it's such a huge issue for us to take it up in prime time, is because when you talk like that, you may not be thinking 10 steps ahead, but others are. When our sitting ministers, when powerful people, people in positions of power talk like this, it validates those who believe in such regressive thinking. It validates those who believe that a place of a woman is inside and not outside, who believe that she is only meant and she only exists to create a home and to procreate. And when you give such kind of comments, you make it unsafe for women to then step out. Because those who want to use it as an excuse, they will use it as an excuse to say, what is she wearing? Why is she out? Why is she out at this time? Oh, she's single. Oh, she's chosen not to get married. She has nobody with her. She is just somebody who runs after her job. When you actually make these comments, people use those comments to harass these women. You are, in a sense, emboldening the lumpen elements and goons in our country. When will those in power get this simple point? CM Mohan Vishwa, spokesperson for BJP, joins me this evening. Lavanya Balal of the Congress Party joins me this evening. Trisha Shetty, advocate and founder for She Says NGO. Dr. Ranjana Kumari, Director Center for Social Research, with me this evening. And N.D. Muller, former DCP of Karnataka Police. And the simple point that I'm trying to make, Ranjana Kumari, is that you are actually emboldening people and validating the mindset which uses these as excuse to then target women and harass women and question them and restrict them.
Well, it's true, Tanvi, because as you said, this is the regressive thinking and also really not thinking about women's own agency, their own control over their own body. And it's nothing to do with Western culture. I mean, what are these men following? Are they not following Western culture in every which way? Are they not running to West for getting? It's nothing to do with just within the Indian culture. When you look at our own culture, how much are these men willing to share household responsibility and work? They just, in a way, glamorize and in a way, say so many things about motherhood. But don't they know that motherhood is a choice women can and has to make? Because you see, where is the reproductive right of women? How much are you really knowing about how many women dying during childbirth in India? We are almost close to sub-Saharan Africa when it comes to so it's not just a thing of producing a child. It's really rearing, caring for a child, and then there is no recognition for that work. Care economy doesn't exist in our country. Nobody even acknowledges it. Forget about giving any kind of compensation to a mother. So, and then when it comes to women, what is this modern women? I mean, don't you want all women to get educated? Don't you want all women to get out of homes and go and work and build our economy, build our society? What do you want? You want them to sit and do Karwa Chauth? You want them to come and touch your feet in the morning? You want them to just cook and clean and wash for you? I mean, don't you want our women? So how are you different than Taliban? Tell me one thing. Really, I'm asking a very strong question, and I know what it means. But are you different from Taliban? That who they're saying, no, women's place is at home. They care for home, they care for family. Sure, women care for family and home, but the problem is you don't. You don't care for home. You don't want to do joint parenting. You don't want to share the burden of women's taking care of children. You see, it's a hard task. It's a lot of work to raise a child, let me tell you. It's not just the kind of fun thing that women must have 8, 9, 10, whatever children, 2 children, 1 child. It takes her time, it takes her energy, it takes her health, it takes her mental peace, it takes her, and then you're talking about mental health of men. I mean, I'm really shocked. Don't you, I don't know who has given you whatever doctorate you have, don't you think that everybody's mental health is equally important? Women's mental health doesn't matter? I mean, this is bizarre. This is the kind of a statement that we are hearing because it comes from ideology. It comes from a training these men go through. They come from ideological positioning where women are seen as behan, as sister, mother, daughter, and they must remain under their control. Look, that's the whole thing. That as long as women steps out, she starts making her own income. She has the agency to make her own decision, and these men don't want that. They don't want. They will run to such whatever. I mean, they go to any extent of really saying that women must remain home, they must look after children, they must produce children. Who are you? Do you know what it means to produce children for women? Please don't start taking away women's right over her body.
Okay, so you're right there.
You have given nothing to women. You have given nothing. Women will give back nothing. And I have been saying for years and years that look, there'll be a day when women will say, okay, to hell with it. I want my education. I want my job. I want my income. I want my career. I don't care because you don't care. You don't care for raising children with me. You don't care for looking after the family. You don't care for anything. You think your career is more important. Your life is more important. And men have never cared for women inside homes. So certainly there is, and that day is coming. Don't feel scared. Don't feel worried. Because this is what women's agency is all about.
I'm sorry to say, if the idea is to connect this to mental health in any manner, I don't think there is right now enough evidence to suggest that women were extremely mentally at peace in the earlier setup where 10 people told them what to do in their own homes, where they couldn't make their own decisions, they couldn't take their own choose their own life or what they wanted to do at what point of time. But to say that a few educated women who are working are the ones who are choosing to do this and this is not good, what does that mean? Like, help us understand, Mr. Mohan Vishwa. Why is that a problem?
See, I think this discussion was supposed to be restricted to what Sudhakar has said, but the doctor has taken it to a different angle where she spoke about the ideology and all. See, since she has spoken about the ideology, I think I should bring about the ideology also. See, you should see the context in which the minister has spoken. And before telling he asked for sorry, actually. So what he says is, some concerns which are appearing in the society, that is what he has told. He never said that women should not go out of the home and should not work. He never said that, women should not have a kid, okay, like whatever doctor said, because our ideology never says that. If that was our ideology, then Nirmala Sitharaman wouldn't have been the first, defense women minister of India.
So what is it that he's saying? Explain to us. Let's assume all of us here have got it wrong. Every woman in this country has got it wrong. Please help us understand. What is it that he's so concerned about?
See, he's not so concerned about, he never spoke about all the women. He spoke about only a few set of women in the society.
Okay.
I will put it in other way around. Okay. See, what about the elders who are there in the old age home? So who's taking care of them? So that number is also increasing, right? So in that context, he said, and the social.
You should go and take care of your elders, now.
Hold on, let me finish. Madam, let me finish. Madam,
No. 1 minute, Mr. Mohan. Are you saying that all the senior citizens in old age homes are because of working women?
You should allow me to speak. Please, you should allow me to speak.
Okay. Let's allow him to speak. Let's listen to what he has to say. Okay. So you're saying all senior citizens who are in old age homes are the fault of working women?
No, I never said that. So look, see, that number is increasing, and also the more and more westernization culture which is happening in today's kids because of not in the joint family and also in that context he said that's it. He never said that women should not come out, and he never said that she should not work. See, the true Madam, you please allow me to speak. you spoke about ideology
Okay,
and you
please.
took the discussion
And I
into a
think you're
different
not speaking
context
anything.
and you
You're
said
just
that,
saying some rubbish.
women are not allowed to work. Who said that? Did minister use those words? Did he ever say that women should not go out work and all? See, you should see what our government has done from past 7 years, okay, in respect of women. I'm telling you. So in the recent cabinet, we have 11 women ministers. And we had Sushma Swaraj ji, who used to handle international affairs as a foreign affairs minister. So you should understand that.
Ask
So
your
whatever,
ministers, will
and
they
you spoke
agree
about
with this
ideology. If that
idea?
was our ideology, then I will tell you, since independence, okay, our government had the highest number of women ministers at the cabinet. So what do you
No, so that's
to
the
say about
point,
that?
Mr. Mohan.
So
I'm
we
sorry.
are giving women that liberty
Mr. Mohan, I have heard this example now. Please, I think you're again missing the point. I would request you to try and listen to what some of the panelists here are saying. Thank you for deciding in what format women should get successful in this country. The problem is, while you may be okay with the avatar of a Nirmala Sitharaman or Sushma Swaraj, you don't seem to be okay with a woman who chooses to not get married, stays single or opts for surrogacy, gives importance to her career, chooses to not live with her entire joint family. You have a concern with the mindset changing there for women. That's what the minister is talking about, which is not good. Let me bring in Trisha here. Trisha, is that the right reading? Because clearly BJP also has several women ministers.
You know, in fact, I should say that the health minister hasn't realized that maybe these modern women are taking inspiration from our honorable prime minister, who himself has chosen to stay single, not have a family, so that he can be more productive and devote all his time and energy for the development of our country. So, you know, maybe they missed the memo. You know, this is absolutely ridiculous. It's okay for the chief minister of UP to be single. It's okay for our prime minister to be single, but it is not okay for modern women to decide what they want to do with their bodies, what they want to do with their lives. And every time they want to control a woman's body, they will say, oh, these are modern Western concepts. This is the same rhetoric that was used when they said this is the reason why we cannot criminalize marital rape in our country, because Indian women do not understand modern Western concepts of consent, right? So what does this do? This, by extent, infantilizes women. You as a man presume that you know better what a woman wants to do with her life, with her body, when, you know, you have no say in the matter. Honestly, we elected you to run the country. As the health minister, perhaps you could do better and figure out what happened to COVID in your state. Perhaps you could do better and, you know, strengthen the infrastructure. Perhaps also what you could do better to do is strengthen the infrastructure when it comes to providing forensic support for survivors of rape and sexual assault and acid attacks, which is terrible pan-India. Instead, you don't want to do what you were duly elected to do, but tell women what they should do with their bodies. Frankly, it's not your business. Stay out of our bodies, stay out of our ovaries, and do what you were elected to do, your job. And if you're that offended by the idea of women not having children and not getting married, have that conversation with our honorable prime minister who set this precedent.
And let me just say, it's not, you know, Mr. Vishwamohan, if you got confused with the term ideology, the ideology that is problematic here is the one that seeks to define women's existence. That ideology is also problematic when a former Delhi chief minister in her days also raised that issue to say, well, women out late at that hour, rapes will happen. That ideology is also problematic when a Goa chief minister turns around and says, oh, children are stepping out, their parents don't have a control on their own children, and now these crimes are taking place. That same ideology is also problematic when another leader of your party speaks about women going to isolated areas and hence crimes taking place. It's when you repeatedly make these comments that enable and, you know, people to say, isliye to ho gaya crime. लावण्य, इसीलिए तो ये हो गया, इसीलिए तो ये होता है. Families भी इसीलिए टूट रही हैं. Families are breaking because of working women. You know, people's mental health is not in a good place because of working women. Crime is taking place because of shameless women who are drinking and partying and roaming around everywhere else. Lavanya Balal, where do you stand on the comments that have been made?
It is ridiculous for the health minister on World Mental Health Day to be talking about what women should do and shouldn't do. I don't know where he thinks he's correct in saying, he's denying the agency that women should be having over their own bodies. Who are these people to tell the women what they do not have a choice over their own life, over their own body? I mean, does this minister realize the implications of his statement and how it will impact the women, how hard women have worked in our country to get this little bit of space, this little bit of agency over their own bodies. And you're making women a target for all those frustrations that you have. And for the BJP spokesperson, I think he's forgotten that Mohan Bhagwat ji, the RSS chief, had said women should be confined to the kitchen and they should be confined to cooking and having children only. I'm sorry, when you mean to say modern women, are you questioning women who have education, who are, financially empowered? What does he mean by modern women? And what is the point of blaming women for, people being in old age homes? Is it only a woman's responsibility? It's the patriarchal mindset that, dictates that women should be confined to only this, and we will dictate to women what they should and shouldn't do. Why is the minister even prescribing culture as a solution for mental health issues? Do you know why mental health issues arise? Does he even understand that? I mean, he's supposed to be a doctor. How can he prescribe culture where women are supposed to be, within the confines of the home, and who should be working day in, day out to keep their families happy, who should be cooking, who should be doing everything to keep everybody in the house happy without complaining, and they're responsible for the harmonious relationship within the joint families? All the responsibilities on the women. And I just don't understand the concept of modern women. What is wrong with educated and financially empowered women? Why does the BJP hate these kind of women?
I don't think it's just the BJP. I think cutting across party lines, members just tend to believe, because they refuse to accept the reality, and it's okay to, still follow the kind of mindset that people had in the 50s or the 60s and continue to push it. But let me go across to Mr. N.D. Mulla, former DCP of Karnataka Police, also joining me. Mr. Mulla, what is your view on this connect that gets repeatedly drawn on modern women and that being the cause for concern for the downfall of the Indian values in society, and also often we are told rise in crime?
Well, unfortunately, what minister meant, I do not know and what context is said. But when a minister speaks about women, definitely people with the moral, men particularly with the moral, lower morals, will be encouraged to disrespect women, which is very bad for the society. Women should have all the liberties of their lives, whether they want to marry or they do not want to marry, whether they have to bear the children, they have to work, they do not want to work. It should be left to them. Unless we interfere is better. I mean, it encourages the criminal set of mind, people with criminal set of mind, to take women slightly. And I don't think it was in a good taste that minister uttered this.
Not just people with a criminal set of mind. Often what happens, Mr. Mulla, is also even the law enforcement agencies. Even, and I'm not going to generalize this to say everybody in the police force, but that often becomes the reaction that you see even from policemen on ground to say, oh, why were you wearing this? Why were you out at this time? Why do you live alone? Why have you made this choice in life?
When I say men with moral, lower moral aptitude will be encouraged. They are all in all sections of the society, whether it is police or governance or minister or MLA or legislature, everywhere they are there. So they will be slighted by them. Women will be slighted by them. It should not happen in the society. It's not good.
Okay. Ranjana Kumari wanted to come in. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just want to also, he's a doctor. He's so ignorant. He doesn't know that Indian women lack reproductive rights. Do you know that how much work needs to be done to strengthen the system to protect women's lives during pregnancy and childbirth? Does he not know that we lack infrastructure? We lack good doctors. Our women, this is really I mean, a doctor who's looking after health ministry, as you very rightly said, Tanvi, he should try to streamline the system, strengthen the system. Instead, he's talking about modern women. I'm very surprised that very good question by another panel. Who is this modern women? I mean, what kind of a woman are you categorizing in modern women? The women who are educated, women who earn livelihood, women who are able to represent the country everywhere globally, women who are sitting in your ministries. Are these ministers modern women or not? If they are not, then I'm sorry. I mean, what kind of a representation are they going to do of India, which is progressive country, which is a democracy, which has all kinds of rights given to, which believes in equality? What is all this about? I think these people, these kind of men need real education. They should be sent back for training before uttering a word. And please stop saying things about women. Let women decide what they want to do. With great difficulty, after 4 decades of women's movement, we have managed to reach this stage where at least women are able to say what they want. Their silence has been broken. And now look at him. I mean, he just has, who really empowered him? Who gave him this right? Did Chief Minister say this? Did Prime Minister say this? I mean, who's really told him to start issuing prescriptions? This is
and it's not, Ranjana Kumari.
This is a social issue.
It's not, I would understand even if there's somebody who is trying to make a larger judgment call about generations. Generation to generation, views change about how you live your life. It's how our elders, would always have a different viewpoint about how the youngsters are living their life. But it is a problem when it is only about one gender. It's a problem when you're only talking about choices being made by one gender. So, Mr. Mohan Vishwa, please explain to us again, who is this problematic modern woman?
I'm telling you again, the discussion is getting into a different angle altogether, okay? So he has just expressed his concern about few issues, that's it, nothing else. You're talking, or other panelists, the doctor who is sitting, and she's taking into a different context, and she's talking about medical infrastructure and the minister's family itself and all. So if she's getting into those kind of things into picture, then I should also get into how he managed the medical infrastructure from past 18 months. Let it be COVID wave 1 or COVID wave 2. Let it be at international level, national level, or rather at the state level, being Mr. Sudhakar.
Yes, you should. And that's what he should also talk about. That's exactly the point the panelist is making. Please talk about that. Please talk about, as a minister, as the health minister, when I interviewed Dr. Sudhakar a few months ago, Mr. Vishwa Mohan, I spoke to him only about what he is doing as a health minister of the state of Karnataka. I only spoke to him about the steps that are being taken to build health infrastructure in the state of Karnataka. I didn't ask him for his views on what he thinks about working women who are choosing to not get married and not have children and its impact on society. I didn't, because that's not why he is the minister in the state of Karnataka. That's exactly the point we are making.
See, I'm telling you, this is what the point if you're making, then whatever he said, the context also you should understand. Again, I'm reiterating what he has told is specifically certain concerns which is apparent for us or for you, for anybody in the society, that he has expressed. He never said that, he's against women working. He never said that he is against women giving birth to child, or he never said that women's against being single. He never said that.
Okay, I am always willing to be pointed out if I am wrong, if I have misunderstood something.
No, I want to make one point about the doctor. I want to make one more point about the doctor. She said Talibani mindset and all, and ideology and all, she started comparing. What kind of Taliban she's comparing? Okay, so are we shooting a woman here, like what Taliban is doing in Afghanistan?
Can you
or
force
are we
women
allowing
to
women to only wear burqa
if they
and
don't
not
want
allowing
to have,
to go in the road?
To respond to that, why I'm saying
Is that kind of thing? And
Because
I'm again
state
reiterating, if
should
you are,
state
if
control
I'm again
women's
reiterating,
body,
if the society is taking
should
women for
state
granted
control
for
women's
this kind of
choices,
comments, then the same
should
society
state
will
not
also
give
get
opportunity
fear
to
for
women
making
what
Nirmala
they
Sitharaman
are
the defense
capable
minister.
of doing?
She was holding the highest portfolio. She was securing her
Listen,
country as a
Mr.
defense minister.
No.
So that is also
Okay.
right.
Mohan Vishwa, you've asked a question. Let Ranjana Kumari explain to you why she made that analogy.
Based on few concerns,
1 minute, please. 1 minute. Allow me to come in here.
I don't think so.
Mr. Vishwa Mohan, you wanted to know? Let her explain. Yeah.
Should why I'm saying Talibani? Because you know what Taliban does? They take power of the state and they control the lives of women. They do not want them to get educated. They want, so all that restriction on women's body and mobility, because they have the state power. Here is the minister in Karnataka who is a minister and who has a state power. People have elected him there. Now, what is he trying to do? He's trying to say women refuse to have children and they're going to go for surrogacy. They are modern women. I mean, what are you accusing women of? And how can you even in a democratic country where you are supposed to look after the health, talk about women making choices? If I don't want to have baby, I don't want to get married, how can anybody possibly force me to do that? Tell me, because you are a minister, so women must listen to you. And that's where the Talibani culture and ideology comes. That because you have the power, you can stand on the dais and you can make any statement about anybody without even
let it be the state of Karnataka, let it be the state of India. I hope I can give you a simple example. Each year when you see the 10th or 12th examination mark card or result, women are always on the top. If the kind of ruling which you are talking about would have been done, that wouldn't have been happened. So these are the things which is there in front of you. Why do you want to connect these things? And as I'm telling you again and again, he never said that you should not get married.
Lavanya
He
Balal
never
wants to come in.
that.
Yes, go ahead,
He said-
please.
I would like to
there in the society. That is nothing else.
Yes.
Mr. Mohan, you need to understand the ladies that you speak of who are now the ministers of India. Imagine if somebody would have gone and told them, you do not have the right to be educated, you cannot do this, you cannot do that, they wouldn't have been ministers today. Please understand the struggle the women in India have had to reach where they are today. And you are also talking about, the onus is on the women to take care of the minister. Sudhakar, in fact, says people are in old age homes today because a lot of women do not want.
Said that. I never said
I'm
that.
sorry, he's given an explanation, Mr. Vishwa Mohan. Please don't lie. Okay, he says the point of all these old people being in
never
old
said.
age
I
homes
said, look at the other
women
side of the
do not
society
want
also.
to live.
Look at the other side of the
Mr. Vishwa
society
Mohan, I
also.
never interrupted
There
you.
also, there are women. There are aged
Mr.
women.
Vishwa Mohan,
There
have
are
some
aged
better-
women. There are aged women. They are also women, right?
Listen, Mr. Vishwa Mohan, listen to my point. He says the people in old age homes are because the modern women refuse to take care of older people. My question is, the paricharaks of RSS,
I never said.
do they not have
Even minister never
responsibility
said
to
that.
their parents to take care of their parents? Mr. Vishwa Mohan, why is it only a woman's responsibility to take care of their in-laws or the parents? Don't the paricharaks of RSS have responsibility towards their parents? Why don't they take care of their parents? Why do they stay single? Who gives them the right to stay single and not have children or families? Why isn't the same right available to the women of India? Why do you find it is a mistake that women of India chose to be educated, women of India choose to not get married, or they choose not to have kids? What is so offensive about it? Please explain to us. You have been telling us.
Okay,
all of us
so
are
you've
wrong.
raised some
Please
points.
tell us what is the
You've
right.
raised some points that I'll ask the BJP to respond to, but also, just for the benefit of everybody here on the panel and our viewers, I want to play that comment one more time. This is what he said as part of his speech on World Mental Health Day, which is on Sunday. Listen in.
And today, sorry to say this, a lot of modern women in India, they want to stay single. Even if they get married, they don't want to give a birth. They want surrogacy. So there is a paradigm shift in our thinking, which is not good.
Yes, Mr. Vishwa Mohan, go ahead please. Which is not good. What is it that he's talking about? Again, see, I'm giving you another chance to explain to us exactly what he said and what he meant.
See, I'm telling you for the fourth time again and again, he has just expressed a concern about few section of the society. He never generalized it. You should understand that, okay?
Yeah, he defined that section of the society. I got that. But why is he concerned about them?
Different.
But why is he concerned about them? I got that. I am not saying he's saying no woman in India wants to get married anymore. I understand that. Only few women don't want to get married. Only few women want surrogacy or don't want a child at all. They're choosing to do that. Why is he concerned about that? What is his concern?
See, the modern society is the kind of direction it is taking into for the next generation. So there are some constraints, so which is apparent for his eyes or whatever, whoever in the society. So that concern he has explained. It doesn't mean that, he's going to bring law tomorrow and stop all those things. Or he's what do you say? He's restricting a woman of not getting married.
Why
all
is
those
he
things.
giving a
never said
judgment
that.
call on
And
a
again,
woman who doesn't want to have a child? What is
he's
his
dating
problem?
For the fourth time.
What is his problem, Dr. Sudhakar?
What?
Please explain to me. I'm not understanding.
See, he never had any problem. I'm telling you, I'm reiterating
He said
again
so.
and again.
I played
He
out
has
the bite for
expressed
you
no
again. I
concern.
played it out for you
He
again. Are you
expressed-
not able to comprehend now? I don't know if the
Yeah,
network
I've
is
seen
bad
at least
there.
20 times.
If you
I've
want,
seen 20
if you
times.
insist, I will
I've
play it
seen
out
it-
third
I've
time.
seen
He
20
said there is
times
a
from the
paradigm
morning.
shift in thinking and that is
I
a
have seen
concern.
20 times from the morning. Yes, see, I have seen 20 times in the morning.
So
same
what is the
videos there.
paradigm
I'm
shift
telling
in the
you,
thinking? That is a
he is
concern.
just-
That is
he
not good.
just- he
What is the
just
paradigm
worried.
shift
He is
in
just-
thinking? That is
he
not
just
good.
Worried about. He is just worried. He is just worried. He is just
What
worried
is the
about
worry?
the future.
What is he worried
Future. What do you
about?
say?
Is he not
Future
worried about
family
girls
concern.
not
Future
going to
social
school?
concern. That's all.
Is he not
Nothing
worried
else.
about so many women dying during
He never
childbirth?
said. And Lavanya
Is he not
said,
worried
and
about
Lavanya
so many
Ballal was
women not
telling that,
getting employment?
what she was talking about
Is he not
education and
worried
all.
about that
And
women
you
are
should
getting
understand what kind of
victims of
women
violence?
empowerment our government have done from past 7
Is
years.
he not
Okay?
worried
So
about
we
so
were the
many
one who gave
girls have
30
been
crore
gang
gas
raped?
connections across India.
What is he
Where
worried
women
about?
used to
There is
cook,
no politics. Is
using,
he not worried
what do you
about
say,
that?
the rest of the things. Okay? And we were the one who bought the triple talaq bill. So aren't these the woman
What are
empowerment
you-
or
what-
aren't these the,
CA
what is
Mohan,
the
I
law
have
which
a
we
word
bought
for
for the
you.
woman?
I'm sorry.
Is it
I'm
not
sorry,
visible
I
to her?
apologize
How
to
can
the
she
rest
say
of
that,
the
RSS ideology,
No,
BJP
no,
ideology and all? So aren't
CA
these are the
Mohan,
things which are taking care of women today? Aren't these not the real
Your
women empowerment?
ideology,
And I'm
your
reiterating again,
patriarchy
he has
is
just
now well
expressed
known.
some concern about the
Mr. Mohan,
social
do you
issues,
have the
society
data
issues. That's
of
it.
the
He
increase
never
of
said that,
assault on
women
women?
should not get married and all.
Mr. CA
What?
Mohan, I have a question for
I
you,
think-
sir. Are you aware of the increase of assault on women during the COVID lockdown within the confines of their home? Do you have the data of the increase on women's, assault on women and children during the COVID lockdown, sir? Do you have that data? I mean, you are talking about so much about women empowerment. Can you also tell us why marital rape is not a crime in India? If you could answer that, that would be great. We will be more educated.
See, as you have an increase in women, crime rate against women also, at the same time, the law or the government has taken the due course of
So you are
action
not-
at
you
the
are just
same
doing
time
what
also.
about
That also you should
answer
speak
the
from past
question.
18 months.
Your whataboutery
That also
is
you
not
should
what
speak.
we are interested
Okay?
in.
So
Your whataboutery is not what
your voice is breaking. I think your internet is weak.
we are not interested in your whataboutery, Mr. Mohan.
My voice is very strong. Let me repeat the question. Do you know the percentage of women who have faced the domestic violence? And do you know how many women have been gang raped in this country? Do you know how many women are suffering from mental health issues during this pandemic? Do you know? So just give us some data. Do you have any information? That's what she's asking.
No, why you are bringing that into this discussion? See, from the time this
Because
discussion is
the
started,
minister
you are
is so
not able to
worried.
hold on.
The
You are
minister
not
is very
able to
worried
stick
about
on to the
women
today's
not having
topic.
children.
Okay, you are all taking the discussion into a different tangent altogether. Why you want that discussion?
No,
If
we
that
are only
discussion, if you
one
want to have,
tangent.
I think I can
Only
ask
one.
Veerarna,
This
we
is
can
our
have a
right
separate
to
discussion on
decide.
that. Not for 1 hour. I can talk on
This
that
is our
for
own
2-3 hours.
body and we have a right to decide. That's the only point we are making.
Allow me to explain here. Allow me to explain here, Mr. C.A. Mohan Mishra. Allow me. Okay, one man who's having to defend his minister as a representative of his party. Allow me to just come in and at least say this for him. Mr. Mohan, it's not about, we are not judging or quizzing you for your general knowledge about statistics or crime against women and the rate of crime. That's not the point here. I think the simple point that some of the panelists are trying to make here is that the commentary that must come from those in power, from those as ministers and chief ministers and party positions should actually be more about those issues. It should actually be about rising crime against women. It should actually be about the fact that 99% of the cases under POCSO, which were filed during the pandemic time, were against girls and just 1% against boys. It shows you the extent of crime that's taking place. It should be about actual law and order, safety, crime issues linked to women and not about moral values and judgment on values of women. That's the basic point that some of them are trying to make here. Trisha wanted to come in earlier. Go ahead, please.
You know, I want to put this in context, right? He said this during mental health for mental health awareness.
Yeah.
So the economic loss, according to WHO, due to mental health conditions between 2012 to 2030 in India is estimated at $1.03 trillion US dollars. According to a recent UNICEF report, which was less than a week ago that it was launched, which did a survey of 21 countries, only 41% of young people in India said that it is good to seek support of mental health problems, compared to 83% for the other 23 countries. So this is the state. COVID has certainly not helped the mental health of the population. What the health minister could have done is spoken about his commitment to strengthen that, right? How many more psychologists and therapists will be available? Because we know the ratio of therapists to people who need help is highly skewed. It's also unaffordable. Perhaps launching a sort of grant or a fund to make mental health services accessible to those who need it. That could have been a great measure. As Ranjana Kumari said, ensuring that women have access to sexual and reproductive healthcare rights, which is what women need across India. So tell us actual constructive measures that you are doing, where the money is going of taxpayers to strengthen the infrastructure to make sure mental health is taken care of women. What the minister has instead done is reduced women to baby making machines. Please note, he also said women don't want to give birth. They want you to go through surrogacy. So he's not even objecting to the fact that, at least they're getting surrogacy and, doing family planning in that measure. He's bringing his problem down to women do not want to give birth. He's inherently objected to women not being baby-making machines, right? So where does this fall into? Anything to do with health-related concerns? It doesn't. And the irony of this all, he's standing there on a podium with Western clothes. He's wearing short pant and wants to tell women what to do with our bodies. We're not interested. And sir, since you have the ear of your health minister, please let him know loud and clear that as women, we're not interested. Please ask him to do his job that he was elected to do, which is to strengthen services to make sure women are safe, that healthcare is actually provided, that mental health care services are affordable, that they are sensitized to handle cases, and can actually do his job. As women, we are good. We don't need his advice. If you have his ear, please let him know that. Especially not this sexist
and
advice.
This fact, if he's trying to find an explanation to why millennials and more women are choosing to not have babies and are choosing a career over that, maybe Mr. Minister and his government need to think and come up with schemes that enable and support working women in this environment for their mental health and physical health. Maybe we start talking about having equal amount of parental leave so that the entire onus of raising a baby and a child doesn't come just on the mother, whether she is working or not, but also on the father. Father को मिलेगी 2 दिन की छुट्टी, mother को देंगे बाकी maternity leave so that the father can go back to work, because that's the mindset, while the mother must stay at home because she is the one who primarily responsible for putting together and stitching together the entire family and the society and producing babies. Mr. Vishwamohan, that's the point we're trying to make. If you want to talk about the mental health of women, talk about the nightmare it has been for so many women during the times of pandemic, where sitting at home they've had to double up as every aspect of home manager and continue to work and continue to be a parent, and how that would have taken a toll for any modern woman. Those are the things that as a minister he should talk about, Mr. Mohan. Or are those not concerns for your minister? Yes, Mr. Mohan Vishwa, to you that question.
You want me to talk?
Yes.
Yeah. See, with due respect to women, even I was also working from home. Even I have a wife. I know the kind of pain she undergoes, or my mom, the kind of pain she also undergoes. Okay, so we do respect women. So we never said that, our minister never said that, he never spoke about, again, I'm getting into the same point. He never said that modern women should not go out, work on all. I'm telling you again and again, reiterating, it was on a little bit of the concern which is there in the society. That's it. Nothing else. He never said that he is going to
Come on,
restrict the
what is
woman,
this concern,
what do you say,
Mr.
freedom and all.
Mohan Vishwa?
So,
Why this
certain
concern?
causes,
We want
certain
to know
concerns.
why. Did he really take care of his own children?
No, madam.
Did he
He is
feed
a
them?
minister.
Did he do the
You
napping
want
for
him
the
to be.
children?
You
Did
want
he
him
keep
to.
awake
You
in the
want
night
him
to
to
feed
be
the child?
concerned about.
Did he
See,
take
when
the
you
child
want
to
him to
school?
be
Does he
concerned
ensure
about a
that the
woman,
homework is
so
done
he will concerned
at
about the
home?
entire woman.
And besides
Okay,
the
altogether,
work?
he should take
No,
that also
I
into
want to know what
consideration.
is this
And somebody
concern
was
all
talking about
Did he
the
ever
woman health
try to know what
infrastructure.
it takes to
Somebody was
bring
telling
up a
about
child?
the
Okay,
pregnant
okay.
to
I
do
think
the
the simple
understand
point that
the
we're trying to make
Okay.
is that the minister the minister need not focus on these issues. Leave those issues for women to decide. Any which is the entire burden of running a home and the nation is on the shoulders of the women. So please leave it to the modern woman to handle it. If at all you want to be helpful, don't be helpful. Don't try to be helpful by making a judgment call on the choices that women are making. Figure out a way you can make it easier for them. Give them an environment which enables them to execute those choices. You had a former cop here on the panel who said it outright in as many words that when people in positions of power make such kind of commentary, it's the criminals on ground who get emboldened, who use these excuses to actually go after women and then blame the women. At every point, these are the kind of instances in commentary that validates the mindset, that shames the woman for each of her choices and action, and doesn't ever question anybody else in the system. That is our problem. Thank you for joining us.